All right, let's just get into this. It's been a long weekend, and that's gonna be what I talk about is this weekend. This weekend, at least for us, like known in the industry as two-lane weekend. And how do I explain? It's a lot of family. It's people traveling into town that you're not familiar with, and it's really like a turning point, I would say, on how you look at what New Orleans season is coming in. So like Tulane for us has always felt like this is now the new start of the city. Now things are changing, more events, more conventions, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then getting into the festival season for Mardi Gras and everything like that. But service, like, it wasn't that I was upset that I gave, like, that's the service was service, but I think it taught me a valuable lesson about how much can you push yourself before you just decide that it isn't worth it. And this weekend made me really decide, like, how much am I willing to push myself? How much am I willing to change? A lot of things that I knew that I just was doing wrong, I was like, okay, fix this next time, fix this next time, and fix this next time. And kind of getting back to the basis where I knew my role was to be efficient and fast. And like on the first night, I wasn't prepared to be efficient and fast. On the second night, I did a little bit better, but I also had a set of circumstances where I felt like I was convicting the right energy. I wasn't saying the right verbiage, and I wasn't at enough calmness to the tables. Like yesterday, I was like, on the first day, I was calm, but I made a lot of mistakes. On the second night, I was making less mistakes. I was more on top of it, but I was less calm. And I believe that, like, at least what this weekend has showed me is you got to find the middle ground between high energy, high pace, high passion, and being calm, cool, and collected in the moment, and not letting your tables really see the behind the scenes of what's going on in the restaurant. And take that one step further, just not just the restaurant, what's going on within myself. At the end of the day, I put my heart on the sleeve every single day I go into work. My name is known, my reputation's known. I had a story where I go to a table, and I'm getting rushed. Like, I wish I could be a little bit more double, but I go to the table and I didn't say my name until the end. I usually start with my name. I get into the spiel kind of right away, and at the end, oh, my name is Israel. If you need anything, you let me know. As I say my name, the spark in their eyes change. Their eyes open up wider, their jaws drop a little, and their whole facial expression changes. The four looking at me, and I was like, oh no, like, I'm worried now. At the end of the day, I'm like, do y'all know me from something? Like, or, have I served you before and I didn't remember you? And no, they said they recognized my name from the reviews. And I don't read the reviews personally. I cannot do it. For my mental health, for just the idea of staying fresh at work and not letting myself get too pessimistic, I cannot look at reviews. I just decided that was something I'm going to stay away from. I'm okay when people tell me reviews. I don't mind being told I'm doing good, but I can't let my ego break during the middle of service and me start doubting myself. I have to trust my brain and trust that what I'm doing is right. Even when I know, looking back, oh, I made this mistake or made that mistake. At the moment, I just had to be decisive. I had to make a decision. And I think a lot of people don't understand that about serving is, yes, we make mistakes, but a lot of the thing too is just it was our bad. Like, it was a genuine slip of the mind. Oh, this happened, and you had to take it on the chin and say, like, yeah, I messed up. This is my fault. Oh man, that was rough. But it is what it is. I know that, like, this weekend taught me a lot about being back into the style of service I want to do. I've bounced around from different places. I've done different industries. Anyone who knows me from, like, being really young understands that I am just someone who likes to have multi diversification and skills. I don't want to be limited to one box. I always want to kind of dabble and get my ear to the streets, you know, and my nose to the sky in a sense. Like, I don't want anything to be taken away from me just because I'm only using my eyes. That coming into like now deciding that I am passionate about starting what I want to start in this industry. I don't want to just be a server for the rest of my life, but I also am extremely grateful to be a server right now. I love this job. I love being around the people I get to be around. I love to make the mistakes and learn from them and change, maybe my mental scaping. Sometimes someone says something to you and it completely changes your mind. I was talking to a gentleman and, we started talking about a mutual love for watches. And he told me, he's like, do you believe in manifestation? Like, do you really truly believe it? Because if you really committed to yourself and you put that thing on your fridge and you consistently said that you were going to get that one watch, you will get it. And I saw with like the real passion and courage the way he was speaking to me that he truly believes this 100%. I, on the other hand, need to work on being 100% into that energy because he was successful. I'm the one working. He's the one there for pleasure. He's the one enjoying the time with his wife. He's the one with a way better watch than I have. So he has a point to say this. And I almost had to like shut up and just take it and realize, like, what if he's actually right? What if these people have something that I don't have? They have a piece of information, they have a system, they have an ideology. And what if that could change me for the better and I don't have to stay in my boxed mindset? Because obviously speaking, you can't stay the same forever. Like, that's just a really bad existence. And I would never want to stay the same person. I would hope that if you met me 9 months ago, if you met me a year ago, 2 years ago, and you met me now, that you would say that at least this person's not the same and he's trying to grow. Even if you hated me, if I did you wrong, or, excuse me. I guess, yeah, just even if you didn't like me, I still would hope that you could respect that I'm not trying to stay the same. And if you can't, then I can't win that battle. I can't. I just have to go on with trying to improve, and maybe one of these days I will earn the respect of the people that have no respect for me. But that's not my calling in life. My calling is to serve, is to be a humble servant. And if you come and say you hate me, but I still have to serve you, I will serve you with the full love and grace as someone who loves me 100% with unconditional love. I have to erase any prejudices in my head, any biases, any, compromising thing, and just give everybody 110%. That is like, I guess now my second point, speaking on, this whole long rant of this weekend. I have to make it consistent. You can be the best server for one table, but that doesn't matter. That does not matter. It's how good are you consistently throughout all your tables, throughout every night, through your highs, your lows, your, you know, feeling the best thing ever. Life's just going great to, I don't know I'm mentally challenging, situations, and I'm going through a really tough time in my relationship and this, and that. And you can always depend on your lowest day to be what your bar is at. And every single time you go above your bar, you have a chance of consistently just raising it slowly and slowly and slowly until the bar becomes it just becomes unbearable, like, and then you just can't raise it. But I'm not there yet. I know I'm not there yet. And I think that's something for every person to figure out. It's how much can I push this life? How far can I take it? When am I going to keep going up and up and up and then finally I hit that ceiling? Or that ceiling, does it exist? Do you just keep going and going? Is that what all these people who, you know, live outside this country I live in or don't live in where I live, is that their expression? Is their expression that they just keep going and going and going and going? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. All I know is that I learned a lot this weekend And I continue to hope I learn a lot every weekend and just keep it going. I'm out of here. I didn't want to have a super long video. I gotta get some stuff done. But I just wanted to get back to at least talking about this experience. And I have other stories, and I will divulge more on this channel about my stories just in general. Because I'm a server. I got a lot of stories. But I hope y'all just stick around. And I see you soon.